couple of years ago, we started out with 3 people in a room, starting a software company, and scaled that up to the point where now it's at 100 plus engineers. And with this guy, I've done hundreds of sales calls, and I want to introduce my good friend here, Twana Daniel. Twana, you want to say a few words to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Babar. So yeah, my background in 20 seconds, I used to work as a senior software engineer for 5.5 years in IBM Ireland. Then I deviated from that, built a company called Dev Center House. Today, we have got precisely 117 full-time engineers, and we're in 6 countries building solutions for clients.
Yeah. And I think that an important thing that you were saying before we started recording this is that you sell a lot by not selling, by
Right.
not trying to be a salesperson. And I
Right.
think over the years working together and the number of sales calls we've done together, I've seen you do it countless times where you're not trying to sell anybody anything, but people just want to go with whatever you suggest and being the expert. So do you want to give people, let's say they're not really as technical as you are, but maybe they're salespeople or maybe they're business owners. You want to give them 3 pieces of advice to take home based on the experience over the last couple of years?
Sure. I think one of the important things that I've been doing, and it's definitely I've also, kind of passed this on to a lot of the senior engineers and squad leaders, is continue to be a builder when you're in a call. When you're in a meeting, be the builder in the room. So my role always been as the CTO and the founder, but I always played just a CTO role. And when I'm on a call, all I'm trying to do is to help and come up with a best solution for the problem that they're having and add as much value in the call, which is very important. So, and if the call's set for 30 minutes, if I happen to speak for 90 minutes, follow up by spending another half a day of reviewing their code, I will do it. And quite precisely is because I would do it regardless if there's a sale or not. And that has definitely give us a lot of return. And then continuation from that is another lesson I would say is that always be overly prepared when it comes to meetings. To build the type of products that we build, it takes months, sometimes years, and you need to build trust. And trust only built by continuous delivery of the same thing you're doing. So delivering on the sprints, which is critical, building the trust with the client. And I'd say the third one in terms of importance is be friends with your clients. So this is something I didn't know before, right? So if you've got 10 clients, then make sure they're your friends. And that builds a different level of relationship. So how many of your clients' WhatsApp number do you have? Not LinkedIn, not email. And if you have that relationship with clients where they call you on a Wednesday night, on a Sunday night, and because they're like your friend, you are at a whole different level and they will become loyal to you, and you will also be equally loyal, and because you feel responsible. And I'd say maybe the last point is, which has been a very successful point, is to make sure your clients make a lot of money. So that's very important. So our focus is to make sure the client make money. And if they come up with a decision that I know is not a good decision for them, I will tell them, right? And they don't like it sometimes, but I still do. But they have respect for that.
Yeah. I just want to share a couple of personal anecdotal stories of working together, because I know we're here tight on time, but I want the people to at least get a taste of, the time that we worked together and some lessons that I took away. So first one, when it was just me, you, and Marco in a room, I think I said this to you already, but I'll say it again on camera, that I remember you went over to his desk and you said, man, like, how can you work here? Like, there's no, like, it's just a mess. It's just not good. And I remember I was sitting, across from him, and I was thinking to myself, that stuck with me. I always make sure that my desk is clean, my environment is clean, because this is something that you always do. Another thing that I noticed that you always do is to-do lists. Like, you're big on to-do lists. You're big on getting, your time management on point, waking up early. So these things I observed for a number of years just sitting beside you, and I was like, if I implement those the same way that you implement them to software, if I implement those principles to sales, then there's no way that, obviously they're going to help me.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing, like, beyond, everything that you said is amazing, but I think just in terms of my takeaway from having sat beside you for so many years is the personal habits, like the personal things, taking your clients really seriously, like taking their success really seriously, and it starts with managing yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of being consistent is very key. I think anyone that around me that they know, I've been the same for the last, say, more than 15 years. And no matter when you speak to me, I'm always consistent. And that is just the way they have built myself. And I think that's a really important thing that we try to pass on to a lot of the leadership team within our company. So it's very important to show and be an example, but also it's very important to really care. That's one thing. You know, when you truly care, then it shows. And if you wing in it, it also shows. So another thing which has been very important is in my days when I used to work as an employee, I used to always treat my employer, in that case what would have been IBM, I would treat IBM as my client. And that was really important because I would see that, okay, another thing which I did, which was really, useful, somebody, a young, really smart, ambitious man asked me recently, it was like, okay, what did you differently when you were actually working in your second or third year? I said I would used to go to my director and I would tell him, we finished, myself and my team has finished the sprint. We have some more space at hand. What else can we do? And I would ask for more work and I would do that. And I was doing this. And then I was bringing that in. So how can you do that at the same way with clients? Where like, you want to build this? Okay, great. We're going to build this for you, but we can also do this. Now you're giving them something they didn't even ask for. And that's really important. And they see that you care. And as long as you do that, have the service build mindset, if you're in sales or if you're whatever field you're in, from our perspective, that's why it's been the case. Do not sell, just add value, build it, and really care. And if somebody doesn't care, they don't last, especially around me. So we need to be able to really, truly care. And that's a very important lesson. And I think you also feel better at the end of the day, because that's very important. Yeah.
Okay. I like that I don't have to speak too much here because I got Twana with me. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Thank you, Babar.